This dangerous venomous snake slithered into the backyard of a family in search of food. The reptile thought its venomous fangs would allow it to crawl anywhere. But it was wrong. This house has an excellent guard. The dog noticed the snake, understood the danger of such a terrifying opponent, and rushed into battle. At first, it attacked the snake cautiously, assessing it. The reptile lifted itself off the ground and curved into a zigzag shape. This way, it gathered a lot of energy for a lightning-fast strike. Its toxin can stop the heart of the brave dog within a couple of minutes. Besides, the dog seems too massive for the agile attack. Can it really dodge the fast and aggressive reptile? One mistake could cost the dog its life, but it doesn't care about the danger when it comes to protecting its owner and their family. The dog bravely attacks the reptile, constantly dodging its attacks, keeping its distance, pressing, and luring it out of the dense bushes. At the crucial moment, it grabs the opponent and starts vigorously shaking from side to side. The snake's body becomes a helpless ribbon. The dog not only crushes its spine and internal organs, but also repeatedly strikes the reptile's head against the ground. The dog survived. It avoided the snake's bite and now receives it as a trophy. Today we will show you other incredible episodes in which snakes chose the wrong opponent and paid dearly for it. This snake messed with the wrong eagle, one that isn't easy to bite. Although the bird only grabbed the snake with its talons around the middle of its body and the snake's head was free, it couldn't reach the bird. The snake tried to attack the eagle and sneak its venomous fangs into the body, but the bird took the initiative and delivered a counter-strike with its beak to the reptile's skull. This blow was fatal. The snake still tried to move, but its strength left it. And you can even see a piece of skin peeling off its skull. Squirrels look so cute, don't they? Fluffy, beautiful tails, tufts on their ears, the ability to confidently stand on their hind legs and grab items with their front. All of this makes squirrels truly charming, and you just want to treat them to nuts while walking in the forest, don't you? But this is just an example of successful PR. Squirrels can indeed be very funny and loyal to humans. And yet, have you ever been surprised by how these fluffy creatures dare to approach us, considering the difference in size? It's like if Godzilla offered chips to a human. Squirrels have a serious reason for their fearlessness. In fact, an ordinary squirrel possesses decent combat abilities. They are incredibly fast, have sharp reflexes, and their agile paws can serve as good weapons. But the main thing is their teeth. If a squirrel can easily crack open the shells of the largest and toughest nuts, it can just as easily crack open the skull of a brazen, venomous snake that doesn't know who it's dealing with. Several cases have been caught on camera in which squirrels encounter venomous snakes on narrow paths. The reptiles are several times longer, armed with a toxin capable of stopping the rodent's heart in less than a minute. But the squirrel bravely rushes into battle and attacks the snake itself. The reptile is shocked and tries to defend itself, but against such overwhelming speed and agility, it can do nothing. Of course, the snake's strike is fast, but the squirrel has the advantage of 4 strong limbs. Agile, attentive, and aggressive, the squirrel presses the snake, turning it from a hunter into prey. Just look at those eyes. It's a frosty stare, waiting for the opportunity to sink its teeth into the opponent. Most often, squirrels give powerful resistance to snakes when they crawl, dangerously close to the burrows and nests of rodents. For the sake of protecting their families, these fluffy animals are ready for feats. Simply sneaking up, injecting venom, strangling, and swallowing won't work. Not only victory, but also the snake's life hangs by a thread when an enraged squirrel is nearby. But what's most impressive is that sometimes these rodents attack large venomous snakes not for the protection of their burrow and not out of fear, but simply to show the reptile just who's boss. That is, it's the squirrel that initiates the fight and provokes conflict with the shocked snake. Moreover, the squirrel often launches a straight-ahead attack. Pretty unexpected, right? There will be more surprises. The squirrel only pretends to be straightforward. In reality, it tests the snake, assessing its speed, easily dodging the opponent's initial lunges. Then the squirrel starts maneuvering and jumping around the enemy, attacking from different sides. After that, the squirrel engages in close quarters combat. Most animals that hunt venomous snakes engage them at a medium distance. Mongooses, for example, constantly attack snakes and then quickly retreat. Secretary birds, for whom venomous snakes makes up 90% of their diet, elegantly circle around their opponent, delivering devastating strikes with their taloned feet, deflecting counterattacks with their broad wings, and keeping their distance. This is wise and logical because it's crucial to avoid a fatal snake bite and not make a single mistake. A single drop of the reptile's venom entering the opponent's body can end the fight. Therefore, mongooses, eagles, secretary birds, and other snake hunters must act flawlessly. But the squirrel couldn't care less. It acts like a true berserker, disregarding danger and willing to risk itself just to sink its mighty incisors into that reptile's head. It acted with its paws, intercepting the enemy, and managed not only to inflict damage, but also to avoid injuries and bites. The snake had no chance to inject its toxin into the enemy's body. Unlike the honey badger, the squirrel doesn't have remarkable venom resistance, and the fluffy rodent acts quite recklessly. The squirrel grabs the snake with its paws, gnaws with its teeth, dodges, twirls, tracks every movement of the opponent, and constantly attacks. The cold-blooded reptile lacks endurance. It's wounded and exhausted, while the squirrel just keeps pressuring the enemy. Sometimes the snake's teeth almost reach the enemy's body. However, almost is not enough, as the squirrel dodges the strike at the last moment, only to attack the enemy once again later. When the squirrel sinks its teeth into the opponent, it not only tears the snake's skin, but also bites into the body to reach the internal organs. The fluffy rodent also uses its tail as a weapon. The squirrel lifts it and confuses the snake. The reptile doesn't understand that it's dealing with a decoy and may get distracted by the tail or even attack it. But the venomous fangs won't harm the fur, and the snake almost never reaches the squirrel's flesh. Pretty cunning tactics now, isn't that? I definitely say so. The snake bites, lunges at the enemy, but the attacks yield no results. This leaves the reptiles bewildered, trying to defeat, while the squirrel seizes complete initiative in the battle and soon finishes off its opponent. Interestingly enough, various species of squirrels behave so bravely on many continents. So if you thought that snakes terrorize rodents, with squirrels it's the other way around. Of course, legless reptiles often emerge victorious, frequently raiding squirrel nests and devouring their offspring if the parents are far away and unable to come to their aid. So you can't say that snakes don't stand a chance in this standoff whatsoever. However, the resistance that fluffy rodents put up against their venomous enemies is striking in its ferocity and effectiveness. Such mastery of ordinary squirrels in battle with venomous snakes deserves your like, I would say, now doesn't it? Dachshunds seem so adorable, don't they? Those elongated bodies, short legs, and droopy ears turn them into real charmers. But in reality, dachshunds are hunting dogs. Their elongated bodies are necessary for them to attack foxes and badgers in their own dens. There's no doubt that dachshunds are naturally very brave creatures. If they were bred to battle wild predators of roughly the same size on their territory, in tight spaces and darkness, the tenacity and aggression of these little dachshunds becomes understandable, I would say, right? So it's not surprising that even against a venomous snake, two such dogs found something to counter with: sink its venomous fangs into the enemy's body once. But the dachshunds acted swiftly, cute, and truly devoted dogs who will do absolutely anything to protect their beloved humans. By the way, if you have experience with this breed, or you are a dachshund owner yourself, then share your opinion about this dog in the comments underneath the video. At the same time, it must be acknowledged that the venomous snake is a serious opponent for this animal. It constantly lunges at both dogs, trying to bite them, to inject its venomous fangs into the enemy's body even for a second, but the dachshunds wouldn't be able to survive this. The snake's venom causes excruciating pain, followed by spasms and breathing problems. The dachshunds would suffocate in a couple of minutes, but even before that, they would lose the ability to fight effectively. However, the dogs act surprisingly fast for creatures with such short legs. The snake is in shock. It clearly didn't expect such agility from these opponents. Moreover, dachshunds use a good tactic in battle, suitable for fighting venomous reptiles. Unlike mongooses, which attack the snake's head, relying on their speed, dachshunds lunge for the midsection of the body. They try not to just grab, but to swiftly lift the snake, depriving it of support. No matter how flexible and fast the reptile is compared to it, the dachshund is a giant. Additionally, the reptile receives damage from multiple angles. The dog's fangs tear the skin and inflict damage to the reptile's internal organs, including its spine. But the dachshund also bashes the snake's head against the ground, stunning the opponent. When the dog starts shaking the reptile from side to side like a shoelace, the snake can't counterattack. The dogs act surprisingly brutally. They cooperate effectively and don't hinder each other. While one dachshund attacks closer to the head, the other hits the tail, and vice versa. The dogs look out for each other, maneuver, act assertively, but at the same time cautiously. Thanks to this, they defeat the snake and save their family from the threat. This huge python noticed the snouts of young crocodiles sticking out of the water of the river. The snake silently and stealthily submerged into the water. It wanted to use its camouflage to approach the nearest reptile unnoticed and attack. There are several species of snakes in the world that can hunt adult crocodiles and alligators. But these are only the largest and strongest pythons, as well as anacondas. All other snakes are not a threat to crocodiles. They are just a meal. This snake, although large, is nowhere near strong enough to hunt even young crocodiles. It didn't realize what it was getting itself into. The snake tried to use its tactical tactics: entangle, strangle, swallow. But the murky water, which was supposed to be a cover for the snake, worked against it. The legless predatory reptile couldn't see or assess the true size of the crocodiles it was approaching. The snake underestimated them and paid the price for it. It thought it was going on a guaranteed successful food trip, but it turned out to be the meal itself. The crocodile is too large for this reptile. It's incapable of piercing through its armored scales with its teeth. The snake's skin is quite smooth, though, a perfect target for the crocodile's jaws. The crocodile takes advantage of this and swiftly grabs the snake with its fearsome mouth. The bite force can scratch metal, and the snake is simply in shock, finding itself in such powerful jaws. The crocodile also starts violently shaking its head to tear the snake's flesh, sinking its teeth deeper into its body. Due to its long body, missing the target during the bite is almost impassable. Such brutality looks very harsh, but this fighting style is not just a whim of a cruel crocodile, it's a calculated tactic. Deep wounds deprive the snake of strength, exhaust it, and can even harm its spine. The snake is stunned and unable to resist. There's no chance of escape. The battle attracts the attention of other crocodiles, who are happy to swim over and snatch a piece of the enemy, which basically swam right into their mouths. Underestimating crocodiles was a fatal mistake. One of the most dangerous and badass snakes is the rattlesnake. This snake has an incredibly dangerous venom, which is significantly different from that wielded by cobras. Whereas cobras use a neurotoxin that causes convulsions, pain, and gradually paralyzes the muscles responsible for breathing, the rattlesnake's venom is a hemotoxin. This type of venom has a different chemical structure and acts differently. It destroys blood and the circulatory system. The rattlesnake's venom is among the most dangerous in the world. Let's say the tapon's venom is stronger, but the dose of a rattlesnake's venom is released in one bite. It would be enough to deal with several bowls. But the main thing is not the venom, but the incredible speed of the rattlesnake. Many reptiles coil their bodies into a zigzag shape before attacking to gather energy for the strike. But the rattlesnake has perfected this tactic. It literally shoots its head with such speed that sometimes the strike is almost invisible. The snake blurs like a murky spot, sinking its fangs into the prey so quickly that it doesn't have time to react. When American farmers tried to reduce the population of rattlesnakes on their land decades ago, they actually imported mongooses from Asia. And you know what? The agile creature that can take down a king cobra in its homeland turned out to be powerless against the rattlesnake. The snake is just too fast. Like a true American, this legless predator seems to be a fan of westerns and lightning-fast attack speed. To simply capture the bite of a rattlesnake on camera, you have to significantly slow down the footage. To the credit of the rattlesnake, it doesn't try to use the venom for self-defense. After all, producing such toxins requires energy. It's much more convenient to scare off an enemy with its rattle and terrifying facial expressions than to waste venom on a chance encounter. But of course, when hunting, the rattlesnake stalks its prey stealthily and doesn't try to deter the rodent. On the contrary, it does everything to catch it. Rodents are the favorite prey of these snakes. Here too, the rattlesnake doesn't hesitate and tries to use its venom to hunt a regular mouse. The snake stealthily approaches its prey, carefully closing the distance for a strike. Then the rattlesnake coils up and shoots its head forward to poison the helpless little furball in a split second. But the snake is in for an incredible surprise here. It's not an ordinary rat or mouse, but a unique species of rodents that has learned to resist even such a super fast enemy. All thanks to its elongated and very strong hind legs. This mouse has incredible reaction speed. It manages to notice the rattlesnake's strike and powerfully propels itself with its hind legs, making an impressive leap. The rattlesnake is shocked, but this little mouse easily dodges the snake's strike. Notice the dizzying trajectory of the little one's jump. It can perform an impressive somersault, turn in the air, or flip over to avoid encountering the enemy's venomous fangs. Sometimes the mouse and the snake's head can miss each other by a hair's breadth. The rattlesnake touches the rodent's fur, but can't sink its teeth into its body. It feels like the mouse can simply slow down time. Such agility and mobility and speed allow it to evade the deadly strikes of the fearsome legless monster again and again. The snake is many times larger, bulkier, and more dangerous, but it can't catch the rodent even after numerous attempts. But the mouse not only shows no sign of fatigue, but also fears no foe. It propels itself off the ground and delivers a spectacular and devastating blow to the rattlesnake with both powerful hind legs. The rodent catches the snake right in the midst of the strike, causing the reptile's head to sharply veer to the side. The rattlesnake is stunned. It's shocked by the speed, bravery, and ninja-like skills of the mouse. And honestly, so are we. The rattlesnake simply didn't know who it was dealing with. The mouse's hind legs are indeed very long. They are strongly curved and function like springs. They resemble the hind legs of a kangaroo, for example, but this rodent is not a relative of the marsupials of Australia. This mouse inhabits America, being a true acrobat in the animal world. And it maintains balance thanks to its long tail. Although its size is very modest, the energy stored in its slender legs allows them to deliver powerful strikes to repel large snakes and move with swift and high leaps. Perhaps the development of such long and strong hind legs is a result of the natural arms race observed among predators and their prey. When a carnivorous hunter chooses a certain evolutionary path and focuses on specific tactics, specialization allows it to achieve significant success. But the prey of the attack seeks and gradually finds ways to counter the predator's formidable weapons. And this species of mice has developed a way to resist the super speed of rattlesnakes, against which even mongooses were powerless. It seems like this mouse doesn't obey the laws of gravity at all, and yet knows how to accelerate like a racing car. Several times in a row, it literally slipped out of the rattlesnake's mouth. The way it skillfully defends itself and smacks the snake right on the head is impressive, and proves that the little mouse is one of the best fighters among rodents and animals in the super lightweight class. If human legs could exert such force, but proportionate to our size, we would not need pedestrian crossings at all. We could simply leap over roads, jump to the height of the 4th floor, and knock down trees with one kick. But the mouse weighs very little, so it won't be able to crack the rattlesnake's skull with such a blow. But admit it, when the stunned rattlesnake flies away from the kick of a small mouse, it looks really cool for the rodent and pretty humiliating for the snake. It soon loses its desire to hunt such prey. Which of today's cases where snakes were unexpectedly taken down by cool and strong opponents impressed you the most? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that we're able to see each other more often.